Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dreamish coming to you from University Starleague Space on the high-tech platform that I'm actually handily controlling with this device right from my hand. Cool, isn't it? Now, you're not going to see too much of me. I'm actually just going to talk a little bit about what's happening in University Starleague right now and what has happened during the last 2 weeks. And after that, we're going to be casting games from the StarCraft part of the University Starleague tournament, of course. So let's talk a little bit about StarCraft. There's actually not too much information to give you. There's not enough games played to actually give you any results from the different groups, and there's still a few walkovers here and there with people that haven't been able to be contacted and so forth. Now as well, our tournament administrators have been completely swamped, so if you're a player and you've had to wait a little bit for answers around your questions in the Facebook groups and so forth, we're sorry. We're catching up on everything as soon as we can, of course. So that's basically that for the StarCraft part. Not too much to tell you this week, but there's plenty more to tell you on the Hearthstone side of things. The Hearthstone tournaments is being played all the time, of course, and we've had more than half of our games throughout the tournaments played already, and we have a few decided outcomes of some groups with people leaving them. For example, Legendaren and Royal Flush are leaving Group Isera to be continuing on to further on into the tournament. Gelbin, the group Gelbin has Benilova most possibly moving on. Actually, there's 2 players that if they win all of their games, they will kick out Benilova out of the group. So this group has been neck and neck, very interesting and very tense gameplay all throughout. On the other hand, Group Cairn has been dominated by DJ Helium, who's floated through his group, actually even taking out the Barcroft Stockholm powerhouse Interwhale with a 3-2 victory. Now the second person to finish that group has not been decided yet, so we're waiting for that as well. On that note, if you haven't played your games, then you should. 31st of March is a hard thing to say in English. It's also the date for you to have played your games. So get to gaming, guys and gals. I'm also going to give you a small side note on the nerfs on Nat Pagal and Tickmaster Overspark that has led to the fact that we've had to accept deck changes through even in the middle of the tournament, because of course a lot of people are running these 2 cards in their decks and they're affecting the deck quality quite a lot. So with that, I'm going to start finishing the Hearthstone tournament part, and as well tell you that you definitely, if you like to watch Hearthstone games, should tune in during next week's CouchCast, because we've finally finished our system for actually casting these games live with a pretty pimp overlay system, with us being able to show you the decks beforehand, highlight specific cards during the games and so forth. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Tune in for that in the next University Starleague CouchCast. Now that's it for me. I'm going to leave this over to our 2 casters. Henning, MrBadExample Eklund, has a new face in the University Starleague scene with him. Alexander Zeweig has been casting a lot for Poison TV, and finally he's here casting for University Starleague as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun to add one more name to the University Starleague crew roster, actually. So I'm not going to talk too much. See you in during the next University Starleague CouchCast. I'll be bringing you the news there as well. And right now we're going to go over to the casters, and they are going to cast games that we've selected out of the 2 weeks of gameplay that have been since the last CouchCast. Let's hope these are good games. See you later.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to University Starleague Season 3 2014. My name is Alexander Zeweig, and here with me is Henning, MrBadExample Eklund, and this is second CouchCast. Welcome.
Absolutely. Feel very welcome here into our campus studio in central Stockholm here in Sweden. We are going to be bringing you some replays from the University Starleague Season 3. We're going to begin with 3 games from the casual leagues, so it's going to be players at a little bit lower level, and then finish off with 2 games from the competitive leagues, finishing off last game with our Season 2 champion, Winter.
Yes, so we have 5 games, and this is going to be very great, of course, and I thought we could just introduce ourselves very quickly. My name is Alexander Zeweig, and I cast for ESC and Poison TV, and this is my first time here, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, absolutely. And my name is Henning, MrBadExample Eklund. I've been casting for University Star League for a while and some other Swedish esports related stuff as well. Also been doing some League of Legends lately, so I'll apologize if all my knowledge is not perfectly up to date, but I hope it's going to go fine anyway.
It most certainly will. So I think we're getting ready here to jump into the first game. We're going to have Judger versus Burnaby. So let's introduce our first player here. It's going to be Johan Anderson. He's right now in Mitt University. He's playing Protoss from Sundsvall, and he's going to be going by the name of Judger.
Absolutely. And his opponent, it's going to be brought up from the screen on the screen here. It's Måns Bränneby, going under the nickname of Burnaby from Linköping University, actually my hometown as well. So a bit cool there. And it's also from Norrköping, so it's like kind of your hometown as well.
Oh yes.
And he's going to be the Zerg in this game. And we are actually just jumping into the game right now. So let me introduce the first player down here to the bottom right or bottom center on Heavy Rain. It is the blue Zerg, Burnaby.
Yes, and his opponent spawning top left here on Heavy Rain, playing for TYSM, it's going to be Judger.
Absolutely, they're rocking a really cool flare. Then next to his Nexus, these are just so cool additions here. I think that's some kind of like anime stuff, I have no idea. Anyways, scouting after pylons, so just gonna make sure that Burnaby is not doing anything cheesy so far, but in his base it's just everything standard. So yeah, Heavy Rain, Protoss vs Zerg, what do you think? Swarm host?
Yeah, we might just see Swarm host. I mean, if you ever watch Snoot, he just goes Swarm host every single time, so it's absolutely viable. I actually want to say, though, from a Protoss perspective, Blinkstalker and Oracle on this map are just amazing.
You mean in conjunction, like using the two together? Or,
actually,
or just either one?
They're both great, and together I think they're just unstoppable.
Okay, so like begin with an Oracle and then go for a Blinkstalker attack or something like that?
That's kind of a cool opening, absolutely. And especially with the wide ramp, and especially when the Zerg has gone in 3 bases, I feel this can be something we see. But of course, we have to wait because we do have a gateway expand here from Judger.
Yeah, it looks like a gateway expand, so just quite standard, I'd say. Having all these possibilities open, we're going to see the gas timings is going to be quite interesting, as well as what he chooses to spend his chrono boost on. Meanwhile, in the Zerg base, it is a pull first, which is something you pretty much have to do against a probe scout after the pylon. So we'll see. He's going to try to put down a hatchery here, but Judge is going to have to be on top of his probe micro here. I think I probably should mention as well that we do have a Platinum and a Diamond League here. So it is from the Casual Alpha League.
Yes, and right now we're going to see some very good probe micro here from Judge. I really do like this. He will deny as long as possible. But some mistake here by Judge. He will lose his first probe, and you really don't want to do that. I think he was also ready for the pylon block, but just didn't really pay attention. But of course, and now he will get his Cybercore up as soon as possible. And if he wants to, I mean, he does have 2 gases, so he could just choose to go into either Twilight or Starlight quite early on here.
Yeah, we do have 2 probes in each gas, so not going to be anything super quick tech. I suspect we're just going to be seeing a Nexus and then followed up by some sort of tech structure. So perhaps a Stargate, as you mentioned, perhaps a Twilight Council, or perhaps even a quick Robo. It's one of my favorite builds when playing Protoss because I'm not that good. So just go for a really quick robotics facility even before your mothership core and just chrono out like 2 Immortals, then go with like a bunch of Warped-In Zealots and 2 Immortals. It's quite unstoppable. We'll see if Judge wants to go for something like that.
Yeah, we've seen those be so strong right now in the current meta. And I think right now Burnaby will try to go for the Scout here. He has a very good place, Overlord. And with no Stalker in the production right now, only a Mothership Core and a Zealot, I think Burnaby will scout everything going on in Judge's base, which not really much, but it does tell him that Judge most likely will try to go for an expand quite soon.
Oh, Judge chose to go for the Zealot there. We often see players starting the Zealot and then cancelling it before it's completed, but this is going to delay his Nexus somewhat, but it's going to prevent Burnaby from going into the base, and there's actually a quick Stargate before the Nexus, so probably going to be seeing some sort of Oracle or maybe even Phoenix, because it doesn't have that many probes on gas.
Yeah, this is very interesting. He chose to have 2 in each gas, as we said, so he should have wanted to go for the expand, but now he goes for expand, so he actually chose to get the Stargate earlier on, and as our observer points out here, the Overlord doesn't really scout this right away, which means that we might just see the Oracle come out here without being scouted. And if this was to happen, we won't have any Spore Crawlers, we won't have any Queens either to really help out. I mean, they have 1 in each base, but usually you want more than just 1 Queen for an Oracle. And right now Burnaby is even going for Roaches, so he won't really have any good defense against Stargate play.
Yeah, going for the quick Roach Warren as well as the metabolic boost will make him safe against most ground-based aggression, which is something I can't suspect is coming, judging by the late expansion. But of course it's not going to be helping against the Stargate, but there is actually the Overlord getting into the back of the base, sees the Stargate, and as you can tell, you can also see which unit is being made in the Stargate, so he knows there is an Oracle coming.
Yeah, absolutely, and now he should be making Spore Cores. That would go the first one in the production tab already, and I feel Judge probably knows about this. He should have seen the Overlord, which means that right now he has a Forge on the way and he's ready to transition. Of course, of 2 bases, he should be completely fine. And it should be Burnaby right now. A bit worried though, because he's not really getting a 3rd base. Instead, he's getting his Roach tech, he's getting his Speed tech, but where's that 3rd base?
He's banking a ton of lava right here. He actually has 13 lava, so it's going to be really interesting to see if he wants to make drones with this or if he wants to make aggressive units. There is the lab, but he's not done anything with this lava so far, and there are some drones. So it's going to be, yeah, it's an economic play, nothing too aggressive so far. Here the Oracle comes in, but there is a Spore Crawl down. Let's see. This Oracle has to do some damage, I think, because the expansion from Judge was quite late.
Yeah, it was quite late indeed, and I mean, getting this early of a lie is quite interesting in my opinion. But Judge, of course, tried to do some damage with Oracle. Doesn't really happen to do too much in this case, and I think Burnaby doing a very nice job, to be honest, to just thwart this off, and it looks like Judge now just has to go into the macro game.
Absolutely. I mean, this Oracle, it has 0 kills, but that doesn't mean it hasn't been effective. Forced out 2 Spore Crawlers, forced out a 3rd Queen, or well, maybe it was going to make the 3rd Queen anyway, but at least made Burnaby a bit scared. Also, this Oracle, if it just keeps the round and it doesn't die, which it hasn't done so far, it's going to be quite a good utility tool in the later stages of the game, because you can use the Revelation to just see where the Zerg's army is, which is quite useful.
Absolutely, it's very cool to have late game as well as if you actually do some damage and manage to kill Spore Crawler. Later on you can do so much damage with that, but already we see more gas being taken Burnaby, we see the hardest stand on the way, and +1 being researched by Georgia. So unless Georgia really goes for a charge here, I would say he's in some trouble actually. Because as he let Burnaby get his 3rd up, he needs to either do push or he needs to get his 3rd up quite soon. And with the Hydras out, you can't really just go for Robotech. You, in that case, need to get those early Colossi, which is going to be quite hard. And but Burnaby already establishing his map dominance with those Lings out.
Yeah, he has some links out to the base of Judge, but just looking at the income tab, we do actually have only 4 workers more for Burnaby so far. So it's not too big of a deal in the economy tab, because, I mean, you often say that if you leave a Zerg like if you leave a Zerg alone as a Protoss, he's going to be way ahead, but with a lot of chrono boosts on the probes and not the biggest drone emphasis from Burnaby, we do actually have quite an even economic game.
Yeah, I mean, Judge right now is even up in supply, which is never something you want to see as a Zerg player. And, I mean, to Burnaby's defense, though, he has been teching quite heavily, and he's also scouting right now. There is an Immortal incoming. He didn't really see the Immortal popping, but he might just assume that, since he was scouting for such a long time and didn't see anything pop out. And during all this, he's getting his own carapace, he's getting Hydra range already, and Hydra's are amazing, really, to shut down those Immortals. That's why we do see Judge already switching up to the Robotech. I really do like this choice.
Yeah, Robotics Bay on the way, and I would suspect this can be either one of 2 things. Either it's going to be a big push with 2 Colossi and 2 Immortals, which is quite common, or, well, there is the 3rd base, so it's just going to be a regular Colossi macro play, and this is, I would guess this is going to be in conjunction with Blinkstalkers, or what would you say?
Well, Blinkstalkers are amazing, really. Oh, well, by the way, great snipe here by Burnaby. It does get that Oracle. Not sure how many kills he got on the Oracle, but, I mean, it was pretty good. And, oh, there we go. 6 worker kills for Judger. So, it's still a pretty good job by the Oracle, must say. But, as I said, he can get Blinkstalkers, but that's mainly against Corruptors. And so far, we don't see any Corruptors from Burnaby. So, I feel he might just want to go for Ling Hydra until we see too many Colossi to really deal with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Ling Hydra, very good composition when it comes to dealing damage. Of course, quite squishy against the area of effect splash damage of something like a Colossi or a High Templar, but with only Zealots, Sentries, and Immortals so far for Judge, this attack from Burnaby could do some serious damage, but great force fields from Judge.
Yeah, great force fields for Judge so far, and right now Burnaby is actually taking the engagement. Nice sniping here on Zealots, and those force fields are now working against the Protoss. He's just gathering up his forces once again, and Burnaby doesn't have the army to attack this. There's still a ton of force fields left. A bit of a botched force field there by Judge, but I say Burnaby should have many more units than this. Actually, he was supplyable for some time, which was a big issue here. And right now they're just poking back and forth and see who actually dares going for the attack.
Yeah, one Colossi is out for Judge. Where is it? There it is, on the way, and with the Colossi, this is going to be great defense. Wow, such great force fields from Judge, trapping in all those high risk, and with the Colossi here, this is going to be a great defense from Judge. Burnaby forced away.
A slaughter for Judge, and Burnaby running away with the tail between his legs. Oh my god, Burnaby might just lose the game because of this, to be honest. That was a ton of Hydras dying off, and he's dropping so much in supply, and now letting his opponent take up freely. We already see the Twilight Console on the way, extended thermal land soon done. This is terrible for Burnaby.
Absolutely, and Burnaby just going for additional drones right here, instead of taking up to a new tech, and which I think is what needs to do, because if Judge just chrono boosts out one or maybe two more Colossi and then goes with like 3 Colossi with range, you can't defend that with like Roach, Hydra, Ling. With this many force fields from Protoss. You need like Corruptors or Infestors maybe. Yeah,
absolutely. You need some kind of tech unit. Those Roaches do nothing against this AoE. Those Hydras melt in seconds. Right now, Burnaby is in some trouble. He's getting the infestation pits. We won't see any Muta switch from him. He doesn't really have the gas anyhow. Trying to get his 4th base as well. This is really going to trigger Judge to go for the counterattack. I do believe this will be the case at least. He can't really let the Zerg go up to 4 bases. But I mean, Burnaby basically has to make this army which will make sure he can survive on 4 or 5 bases. But the infestation pit is so late. His upgrades haven't really been there because he's been focused so much on the attack here. I mean, he's doing a good job here, shutting down the pounds, he's shutting down the incoming cell harassment. But when Judge's army arrive, he doesn't have the defense.
Absolutely. I think that Judge has to go on the aggression right here. At least he would benefit from doing so, because with this 3rd Colossi down, I think with this many force fields, at least from 6 sentries with almost full energy, he could take such a favorable engagement against like Ling, Hydra, Ling, Hydra, Roach. But we do have Swarm Host on the way for Burnaby, and if he gets to burrow like 10, 12 Swarm Hosts in a good position, I think Judge is in some trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. You need a ton of those Colossi to really deal with a lot of Swarm Hosts. But remember though, Burnaby, I mean, he's saving up a lot of minerals and gas, so he will be able to make quite a few of those Swarm Hosts. But if Judge was to attack before this, if Judge was to move out right now, which I think he actually is, looking at the minimap, there we go, he's actually moving quite aggressively on the map. If he was to move out right now, attack before those Swarm Hosts, he can hit a very critical timing.
Absolutely, and I don't think we have an observer with the armor. This could come back to bite him. I'm not sure if Burrow is done. No, it is not. So this lack of observer is not going to be too big of a deal. But the Colossi actually being trapped here. Burnaby is not going to be able to take advantage of that, though, as he does not have vision on this army. But here comes Judge. 2 Immortals as well. It's going to be really important if Burnaby builds a lot of Roaches.
Yeah, you actually don't really need Burrow for the Swarm Host to burrow. So that is going to be at least... the Swarm Host is going to be quite hard for him to deal with. But of course, the rest of the units are going to be so easy to kill off for Judge. So the question is, can Burnaby hold on? It's going to be very close here. The equal in supply, the Swarmers are just now hatching, and Judge is going for the 3rd base. He might just be able to snipe it here.
No more support with the army though, so there's not going to be any time ops, so there's not going to be any recalls. Otherwise, I think a great strategy here would be to just snipe the base, kill some drones, and then recall out. Meanwhile, some cell harassment on the 4th base as well. Judge is on fire right now.
Yeah, but oh my god, those central going down. And as you said, great run by here by those Zealots. Those Zealots in the front though of the army are getting killed by the Locusts and the Hydras. So Judge right now realizing he can't deal with this army. But as you said, that was a great run by, and he's killing off so many workers, as well as that. Not really the base, but it does so much damage at killing off both the gases, which is really worth it. So far, 18 workers killed by Judge, and this is really biting into the economy of Burnaby, who now is down to 55 workers only.
Yeah, if that hatchery would have went down, that would have been GG pretty much. But Burnaby does have his 4th base on the way once more, and he's going to go up to 16 Swarm Hosts. So if he burrows these 16 Swarm Hosts in a good position and is able to defend it with his army, he's going to have a chance, because he has quite good creep spread, which is really important when you're going for the Swarm Hosts.
Yeah, but I really do like the transition here by Judge, to be honest. He's getting his Fleet Beacon, he's adding on 2 more Stargates, and with +2 coming out, he's going to be so strong against the army of Burnaby. Sure, he has a ton of Swarm Hosts, but when you get extended thermal lands with those Colossi, mass up more Colossi, and get the Tempest, which we'll see here from Judge, it's so hard to hold on suddenly, because the AoE just kind of melts away on your Locusts.
Yeah, absolutely, and we can see here in Judge's base, he is going to be able to, he's going to have to be defensive here, because we do have some Overseers as well as some Hydras here, as maybe somewhat of an observer sniping force, but there's a huge warping of High Templars, 5 Archons morphing right here, and Judge, his arm is really scary.
Yeah, oh my god, this is going to be quite intense, really, because when Judge attacks, because he's going to attack again, or rather, actually, Burnaby doing some nice harassment here to the 4th, actually, base of Judge. We'll see, because Judge can now choose. It seems like he wants to go for the aggression. He needs to defend his fourth base at whatever cost, really, or kill equal amounts of bases by Burnaby. If he kills the fourth and third base this time, it's absolutely going to be worth losing his own fourth base. All he needs to do is do equal or more damage, and he's going to be completely fine. This army is so scary right now.
Yeah, Burnaby has to give up this base. There's no way he can hold this. But once more, no observer with this army for Judge, and no mothership core either, so there's not going to be any recall, no time open, no... Oh, and he's just move commanding! Well, move commanding straight to those locusts. Loses one Colossi, loses a lot of Stalkers and Zealots, loses, I think, 3 Archons or something like that. So a great play there from Burnaby. Judge is not scared, though. He's moving in farther, and he is down in supply, though. Let's see if the flank can be good here for Burnaby. No, he's going for the counter-attack.
Yeah, Burnaby going for the counter-attack. He killed the fourth base. Right now, good force fields here for Judge, buying him some time, but here comes the Corruptors. They're going for the Colossi. I don't think Judge has enough, and yeah, he's losing a lot to those Spore Crawlers as well, but he still has quite a bit of an army. Those Hydras are not with the bases of Burnaby. This is so close right now.
Well, what a base there is. The mothership core went down for Judge. If he would have Photon Overcharge, this would have been a great hold for him. Now the Hydras can just rip through these Zealots, and I don't think the Photon Cannons is going to be enough here for Judge. Burnaby might kill the third base, but he might lose his main as well. What a crazy base race.
Oh my god, and here we go. More Corruptors coming in. The Locusts going up the ramp. We do have... I don't think we have any more force fields, Henning. This could be so harsh, and there we go. Only one more Colossus left. This is getting so close.
But the Locusts are like bugging there down on the ramp. They're not actually doing any direct damage. And in such a close low economy situation, these Swarm Hosts and these Locusts are going to be great because they're free, obviously. And that, well, the Colossi actually goes down now. There's just some Immortals and some Stalkers versus Locusts. They're just going to go down. Great forceful though for Judge, but no mothership core here. There's not going to be a recall. These units are going to die, but are they going to take the hive with them?
I think they might, although if Burnaby does micro those Locusts, I think he should be able to go up here. Is he going to get the force field? He needs the force field this second. No force field on the ramp, and these Locusts coming up, they're going for blood. And I think Judge might just lose his entire army here. A few hundreds at least coming in here, might just snipe the Immortal, and there we go, the Immortal does go fall. I think Burnaby was actually cleaned up in the third base of Judge with a warp in with Archers and Zealots, but I think Burnaby...
Is the hive gonna go down? God. The hive is on 99 HP.
He's not focusing it!
Focus the hive, Judge. Here comes the wave of Locusts.
40 health.
Oh, he blinks for it.
11. He goes
wow,
down.
He gets the hive.
Beautiful.
That is huge. Now there is no high attack at all for Judge, or for Burnaby, I mean, sorry. So he's not going to be able to remake any more Corruptors, remake the Spire, remake the Infestation Pit. It's going to take such a long time. His only hope right now are these 16 Infestors. He has to be aggressive with them right now, I think, because Judge is severely crippled in his base.
Yeah, he absolutely is. He has basically no army, but he has a ton of workers, and his economy is going to be quite fine, while Burnaby doesn't really have a lot of economy. So I feel Burnaby right now has to be very aggressive. He has to go with those Swarmos. He has to start killing off bases left and right, and he can't. For whatever happens, he can't let Judge get more Colossi than this.
Absolutely, and he's actually transitioning into Void Rays as well, so there's now 4 Void Rays, along with 2 Colossi, and soon to be 2 Archons, so a lot of high-tech units here for Judge, a bit of everything, versus these Swarm Hosts, and they are actually burrowing, or probably going to burrow here, and try to siege up the fourth base for Judge. They are going to begin with taking down the rocks here.
Yeah, and right now we do see Judge just poking away at Burnaby. He doesn't want to get attacked here from the bottom at least, but all those Swarmers with the Locusts are so scary at this point. What Judge is just trying to do right now is he's trying to get this Death Ball up, but Burnaby is trying to stop this with whatever he can really muster. He's getting 3 bases behind this, or rather, actually, yeah, his main base is a Macrat rather, but still, he's getting 2 more mining bases with this, and he's basically saying, I need to buy time and get into the macro, or I need to kill you right now, and whatever happens, he can't let Judge get this Death Ball, which is so strong.
Here's the next wave of Locust, though, and it is going to go down to these high-tech units, but I'm going to take a couple of Zealots with him. And, well, Judge, he has a great army, he has a great economy, but one thing that he is missing, and has been severely missing through this whole game, is there is no Observer with armor right now, and there is no Mothership Core even on the map. With an Observer and a Mothership Core with this army, would be able to time up, would be able to recall, and would be able to spot out the Swarm Host, of course, which is really good if you want to kill them. But right now, none of those are possible for him.
Yeah, nice run by here by Judge trying to do some more damage, but meanwhile, Burnaby doing some very nice damage with the Locust, I must say, and he's killed off an Archon already, now killing off quite a few probes. This is great, and now he's focusing down the Nexus. Oh my god, he's going to get it! Oh, whoa, that was close.
Wow, those locusts are just doing so much damage here. With the 2-2 upgrades, they are quite tough here. And this means that Judge has to go out with his army to actually face his locusts. Are force fielding them off quite well here. But yeah, actually not really any kills there from that wave from Burnaby. But Judge, he can't let this continue. No energy on the sentries right here. So if he just lets the locust come wave after wave, this fourth base is going to go down.
Yeah, this is the downside of not having enough core sight. When you don't have enough core sight, you need to have those force fields, and they will run out. But those locusts are focusing down the nexus, and it's getting lower and lower. If this nexus falls, that would be so terrible for Judge. But though, during all this, he's going for his own counterattack to the fourth base of Burnaby, which most likely will fall, I feel.
Well, once again, these players just going for the base trades. So much action on the map right here. And there's, oh wow, actually a pylon wall from Judge. Not having enough force fields to block off the locusts, no problem. I'm just going to make a huge wall of pylons.
Beautiful.
Pretending he's a Terran there maybe. But yeah, the next wave of locusts is just coming here. And Judge, you have to do something. You have to get an observer. Without an observer, you cannot kill these swarm hosts.
No, it's going to be so hard. But also, of course, he doesn't have enough core sight to really go and battle them face to face. He needs more AoE, and it's going to be so hard. He doesn't have the Tempest, but he's getting a lot of Void Rays. And what does Burnaby's army not have? It doesn't have a lot of anti-air. That's what it doesn't have. I mean, he does have Hydras, sure, but they will melt so quickly to the Colossi, and he needs those Corruptors. Or you need to make a huge Muta switch, for instance. There is not really much anti-Muta on the ground, to be honest. We have two Archons. That's all, really, for Judge.
Yeah, Judge going into these Voider Archon composition once again, and these locusts are just melting through the zealots with the 2-2 upgrades, but Judge is holding on to his fourth base right now. Most of the pylon wall is gone, but here's the Hydralisk counterattack to the third base of Judge Burnaby with his relentless aggression.
I love this from Burnaby, doing a really good job with his guerrilla tactics. And in the bottom, once again, those locusts killing off the pylon wall, and he's going for the Nexus. I think he will get it this time, Henning. And there we go, the Nexus falls.
Brilliant positional play here from Burnaby, just pulling his opponent's army apart with the Hydras, with the Locusts, and just such great play here from Burnaby. Judge is now down to 3 bases, has mined out 2 of them, so he's only on 1 mining base right now. His bank is quite healthy at least, but Burnaby's is a lot bigger with almost 5k minerals in the bank. I think Burnaby has a distinct advantage right now.
Absolutely, he's getting more and more of an army, and Judge, who's even supply capped at this moment, he does have a bit of a bank, but he doesn't really have an answer, as you keep pointing out, to those swarm hosts. He doesn't have an answer, and right now we see Burnaby getting that anti-air he needs, and oh my god, the Hydras once again killing every worker. This is horrible for Judge. If he gets his Nexus, that might just be it.
Absolutely, and he's just... what's so brilliant about Burnaby's play is not only attacking with the Hydras, actually getting the next side, not a cancel, just killing the Nexus straight up as well as a bunch of probes. But while he's doing that, he's moving his swarm host to a more offensive position on the left side. So brilliant multi-pronged aggression from Burnaby so far. I don't think Judge is going to be able to hold on, but it is going for the Mothership and the Tempests.
Yeah, this is true definition of a swarm play by Burnaby. He's just attacking from every angle with a ton of units. They are dispensable even. These Locusts have done so much damage to be so cost effective, but Judge, as you say, he's getting Tempest and a Mothership core. He's getting
the actual Mothership.
Yeah, the Mothership. I keep saying the core. I've never seen the Mothership played like this, to be honest. Like, he needs it, but it's really going to help him. It's going to give him Cloak. That's really what it's going to give him.
Yeah, there are no overseers from Burnaby in an offensive point on the map here, but he has just completed 16 Corruptors with 4 more on the way, as well as actually having no upgrades for them, but +1 Carapace on the way. So he's going to have 20 Corruptors versus these Void Rays and Tempest. But if there's something I've learned from watching a lot of Protoss Void Rays, it's that, you know, Corruptors are not too great against them.
Oh my god, just add some Infestus and add some Brulos and we have a Wings to Liberty game on our hands. Right now, Burnaby needs something against this Cloak. This is going to be so annoying for him because he can't battle the Cloak. He needs those Overseers, but how does he attack into this? Can the Overseer really go? He will get sniped right away, and now Judge is moving across the map. He's going on to creep. He doesn't care. He has an Observer now. He'll just kill everything in his way, to be honest.
Well, but it has to stick together with his army. Cannot spread this out. And meanwhile, there's a Hydralisk counterattack to the top right. Burnaby is going to shut down Judge's attempt at the 4th base, but these Corruptors are going to be what decides the fight. Oh, the Mothership is alone!
Oh my god, he gets sniped! It's so low! He gets gets the snipe. Wow, great snipe here by Burnaby, who now is trapping the Colossi with those swarm hosts. The swarms, though, are a bit trapped here. Is Judge going for them? No, he's going for the bases. He's going right for the eco line of Burnaby. But look at this, Burnaby at 180 supply. He's getting more corruptors, and he's getting ready to take this fight head on.
But what is Burnaby's army really consisting of? There is a bunch of Corruptors, sure, and 15 Swarm Hosts, but that's it. There's no Roaches, no Hardlisk, no Circlings, no Infestors, nothing that can soak up the damage from the ground. So there's just going to be Corruptors, but this huge death ball of the Protoss with such a high amount of Void Rays. I'm not sure if Burnaby is going to be able to win a straight-on engagement, but he is killing the third base of Judge.
Yeah, there's no defense here for Judge. The mothership is down as well, so he can't recall. And now here comes Burnaby going for the third base. No more economy for Judge this game, and I think he's just going for the kill here. He needs to kill every building. That's how you win a StarCraft. You need to kill every building of your opponent, but is it going to be enough? More Corruptors coming in. Burnaby is still mining, and he's getting more and more of these units. Not much anti-air left for Judge, and this might just be enough for Burnaby to break through.
I think that Burnaby should just go all in for the base trade. I mean, he cannot defend it. He's not going to be able to beat this army head up with so much energy on those sentries and such a high amount of Void Rays. But he's going to try here with the Corruptors going and sniping some Void Rays, but no, going out of there. So he is probably going to go for the base trade. I would like to see this Swarm Host in a more offensive position, because right now there's only one Hydralisk shooting, so not the greatest offensive micro from Burnaby. He needs to kill the buildings of Judge before Judge kills Burnaby's buildings.
Yeah, but oh my god, look at this. Only 4 Void Rays right now, and there's a lot of Corruptors out. What Burnaby's doing is he's buying time. He's buying time because every second he's mining, he's going to get more of those Corruptors, and he needs every single one of them. If he can kill all the Void Rays, there's no more anti. Actually, no, sorry, there are 2 Archons, but they have no range barely. So if he kills the Void Rays, that might just be enough to start sniping those Colossi. But remember, the Colossi will kill the Hydras in just a second or 2. So right now it's really close. It's a big base trade between both the players, and it's very hard to tell who's actually going to go ahead. But here we go, Burnaby attacking.
The Corruptors are going in here, but we can just see the strength of the Void Rays right here. Only 5 Void Rays against a lot of Corruptors, but he's actually going to be able to push the Corruptors back here. The Locusts come in, but they are not going to be enough. And Burnaby, I mean, I thought he had this game in the bag, but he does have the base on the right, though. That is what he still going for him, as well as 5k minerals in the bank. So he's going to be able to remake a couple of bases. I think he needs to bring these Swarm Hosts into the fight, though. They are not doing anything here up on the left side. Meanwhile, the Hydralisk are having a party in the base, but, well, we're going to see a fight again.
Yeah, and there's no prismatic alignment for these 3 Voiders, rather, now 2, and the only real defense here are those Archons, I feel. Those Archons are doing some really heavy work, though, on the Corruptors. The one thing going, though, for Burnaby, there are no piles out on the map for Judge, and Judge has 16 workers, but I think they're all close to the base, which is a huge problem right now for him, because if Burnaby just kills all the buildings, he just loses instantaneously.
Well, but Burnaby has to remake his buildings. He has 1 extractor down here, and yeah, that's pretty much it. He has... does he only have one extractor?
Does he only have 1 extractor?
I think that's it.
Is that it?
Now, he has 5k minerals, so he can remake a couple of bases.
Oh my
but
god.
he only has 1 extractor right here. But no, there are a couple of hatcheries, but they are actually getting spotted out by Judge right here. So the Hydras are killing the base right now, but... Yeah, as I said before, in low economy situations, free units really shine, spellcasters really shine, and what are like the definition of something that gives free units? It's these Swarm Hosts. These are just going to be able to... Well, yeah, free units are good when you don't have that much money.
Yeah, and here comes Judge. He's going to make another Nexus, and as he's remaking this, that makes sure that he is not going to be revealed anymore on the map, which is great for him, of course, because now he can start hiding buildings. I think we kind of reverse base trade here, where we basically are building up again. We're going from the late game to the early game again, building another base each, and here comes Judge, though, and I feel he might just aim for this hatchery. And are there any more buildings?
Are there no
buildings?
Oh!
That was the last building!
Wow!
GG! Wow!
Wow, I did not expect that to happen.
Sick game, wow. Okay, so it looks like Judge will take the game because Burnaby did miss that last hatchery. Oh, that's
wow,
mistake.
and they had at least 5k minerals in the bank, as well as a lot of drones hidden across the map, so...
Yeah. Oh god.
Wow, that's gotta feel bad.
It feels almost like Rain versus Hiva, you know, on Belgian Vestige when they had this, you know, really big base trade. Rain has the biggest army ever, he just needs a few more seconds, he's done, and he forgets to build anything more than a simulator. And he just loses to that. Like, it's the same thing where everyone sits there like, oh, Rain is won, and you suddenly see like, oh, he didn't on it. So kind of same thing here, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely a mistake there from Burnaby, but not going to be too unhappy with that, I think, because he still played that game really well, and I think he really had it in the bag if he just would have moved his army a little bit better, had a little bit better movement in the late stages of the game. But anyway, great play from both players. Let's dive straight into game 2, I think.
I think so as well. Let's introduce our first player here. It's going to be Justice Lesker in the school in the University of Linköping. He's playing as a pro, and he comes from Stockholm, and he's going to go by the name of Tysken, and he plays for TYSM.
Yeah, same team as our last player, actually, so that's quite cool.
Sorry, LBR, actually. Sorry, that was the wrong one.
Anyway, here, let me introduce Sethian. He's a friend of mine, actually. Marko's passion, studying space engineering. What could be better when you're playing StarCraft in Luleå? He's a Zerg player, and he's also might be... if you're wondering about his DreamHack clan tag in game, which actually looks quite cool, it's because he's an admin at DreamHack, and I've been as well, so that's why I know him that's why I know him a bit. He also played at our Season 3 finals, so...
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he was there playing offline, and I think he came second in our... I think it was the Gold Platinum League, or maybe Silver Gold League. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway...
Yes, let's introduce our players.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're spawning here on Habitation Station, and as our first player in top right, playing for LBR and not TYSM, it's going to be our Red Protoss Tysken.
If I remember right, I think he was playing in the Season 2 finals as well, actually.
Okay,
playing
cool.
that offline, so quite cool stuff. His opponent, of course, here in the top left corner, it's a blue Zeweig from Team DreamHack. I guess you can say that. It is Sethian.
Okay, so Tysken vs Sethian is going to be a ZVP here on Habitation Station, and I just have to say right away, even though you say it every time when we cast a game like this, you have to say it. Gold minerals on a map are amazing. I just love having this on a map, and I feel, even though we haven't seen anything yet, we might just see something from either of the players really abusing this fact that we do have the high-rich or high-yield minerals on this map.
Absolutely, but as a Terran, I have to say I always get a bit sad when I see the gold minerals, because I just remember the times when mules got more minerals from the gold, and I remember the good old days.
The good old days.
Absolutely. Anyway, I think, yeah, as you said, the gold minerals, of course, are great in this map, but the thing is that the gold bases are quite close to each other. So this leads me to another game that I saw between Scarlet and some Korean Protoss.
Oh,
SOS, maybe?
Bomber.
No?
Oh, Protoss, sorry.
Yeah, Protoss.
Pro, sorry. Yeah,
Scarlet vs Bomber, of course, on this map was great. But yeah, speaking of the close proximity of the gold bases, the Protoss player, I think it was SOS, actually went for Tempests really early. So expanded like... I think it was quick 3 bases and then Tempest. And then the thing is, the Tempest can just sit at your gold base and shoot at your opponent's gold base.
Yeah.
So that is actually quite good.
All you need is an observer to actually scout for it. You can just, you know, you have almost an infinite range with those Tempests. I just have to point out, by the way, we have a lot of Chrono Boost here coming out from Tysken, and he's actually only on 1 gas. Are we going to see something close to 4 gates?
Nothing is impossible with players like these, but this looks like a Nexus actually. So
he's actually going for, okay.
Maybe just saving up the Chrono Boost to be safe in the early game. Getting at a quicker warp gate or a quicker sentry perhaps. We'll see, he has quite a lot of gas saved up, so I would suspect he's going to go for a sentry or maybe just a quick mothership core.
Oh my god. Do you see this in the base of Tysken? Do you see this hatchery?
Wow, I see the hatchery.
We have the proxy. Is this Cats? Is he smurfing?
I don't think so. I wouldn't believe that is the case, but you never know. Anyway, Sethian is going to go for the proxy hatchery here, and it's going to be a lot up to you if Tysken can spot this out, but it does not look like it, and it's not something you typically do, scout your own main base. Of course, if he wants to send his mothership core to his opponent's base, it would probably take that route, but for Sethian's, lucky for Sethian, it looks like the mothership core is just going to be in a defensive position, and here is the build that I actually mentioned earlier, just a really, really quick robotics facility. Let's see how this fares against Sethian, because I mean, if Sethian is going for roaches with this, and Tysken can get out a really, really early Immortal, it's going to be pretty much GG. But it looks like Sethian is actually going more for the Zerglings and maybe the Spine Crawlers.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the case. Basically, what Sethian is doing is really hard to scout until the hatchery is really finished, because then you'll see the creep from Tysken's point of view. And I must just say, though, if Sethian gets this up, which he will actually, he will start getting a ton of Zerglings, and it's really going to be down to when he gets this Immortal out and when he can start those cannons. And now he sees the creep. When does he react, though?
It's going to be really interesting when he reacts and what his reaction is going to be like. We do have the quick +1 upgrade as well here, so that's going to be making his zealots really, really, really good against Zerglings if those are coming out, but yeah, it looks like now he spots this, goes over with a probe and sees the first Zerglings popping. I would actually have liked Sethian to build a couple of drones here for the spine crawlers, but I don't know. And there is the hello in the chat. A queen on the way as well as several Zerglings, so there's 3 Zerglings in the base right here, but not going to be able to do anything against a Zealot and a Mothership Core.
No, and it's going to be quite hard defending this, and oh, a great engagement already by Tiska, I must say. He does lose 1 probe, but he does kill the rest of the Zerglings. Not much to defend the hatchery with, and you really want to defend the hatchery, get those spine crawlers and spore crawlers up, and then you'll be safe. But of course, now the queen will fall as well, so I feel Sethian probably will lose this hatchery since he doesn't have any roaches either. And here comes a few more links trying to pick off as many workers as possible. I think Sethian knows this hatchery is going to fall quite soon, and he's just trying to do as much damage as possible during this time.
Chose to go for the injector, which is quite interesting. It is going to be finishing here, so it's not going to be able to kill the hatchery quite as quickly. There's some 2 cannons on the way though, so these Zerglings are not going to be able to do much. I would have loved, as I said, Sethian to go for a couple of spine crawlers, but it's not going to be the case right here. However, Tisken's front is completely exposed, and Sethian has a bunch of Zerglings in his natural. Sethian, please move them.
Yeah, he needs to do something, and here comes the spine crawler. Not gonna happen though. Tisken denying this already, but remember, Tisken is not mining during all this time. That's a ton of probes not mining. He does kill this off though. The spine crawler goes down, the queen goes down, and now the hatchery will soon fall, but more Zerglings on the way. But as you said, Sethian needs to move out with these Zerglings. I'm not really sure what he's waiting for.
No, he's probably just forgotten them, I'm not sure, but here we do have the Protoss ground weapons level 1. It's going to be finished in about 5 seconds, so with that, the Zealot's going to be very good against these Zerglings. But wow, the Zerglings is actually going to be sniping somewhat over a Tosis pylon right here. It's going to be able to take down or unpower at least these Cybernetics core and these warp gate, but anyway, Sethian is now starting his transition. He's taking another gas, another base, and he's going for the Roach Horn. However, only sitting on 26 drones versus the 31 probes so far. So Sethian, you need to do something. You have bought yourself a lot of time, but you have used it to build Zerglings instead of drones.
Yeah, he's building 12 more Zerglings right now in the base of Tisken. I don't feel this is the right choice, really. There's a lot of cells out already. That Mothership Core is helping out so much, and Immortal just popping out as well. He really needs to start droning. He needs to start droning, and he actually started with 2 drones on the way. He's getting his LA as well, but those drones are so important right now.
Yeah, he has to snipe a couple of probes here to make it worth it, and it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. And there is the photon overcharge going down as well. So Sethian, these Zerglings are really caught between a rock and a hard place. It's going to try to focus down on Immortal, but it's not going to be enough with the cannon, with the photon overcharge, with the Mothership Core. So the Zerglings is going down, and after this, I have to say, Tisken is in quite a good position. The play from Sethian, what he made. What that really gave him was a lot of time with his main base and his natural. He got a lot of time to do pretty much anything he wanted to, but he used that time to build Zerglings, which he did nothing with, and banking up energy on his queens instead of building drones and injecting lava. So, I mean, Sethian, it was a smart strategy, but I don't feel he utilized it perfectly.
Now I feel like the Thor was great, but the execution kind of failed a bit on the way. He kind of overextended, I feel. But here goes Tisken. I love this, actually. He knows that his opponent won't have too much at home since he should be droning, and he should be able to push out. I would like to see a few more sentries, though, as he does have a ton of those Zealots. I'm not sure, did he get +1? Or
yeah, he has +1, and this is quite a good build. I mean, Tisken is not executing it perfectly, but it is a really good strategy. You want pretty much 2 Immortals and a lot of +1 Zealots really early an attack, and then the Protoss can't really do much against that. And you don't really get sentries with this either, because you are only on 1 gas, and Tisken has actually forgotten to put probes back into that gas, which will come back to bite him, because right now it's banking a lot of minerals, but does not have any gas at all, so it's just going to be pure Zealot reinforcements, which is not too bad either.
Yeah, the one bad thing though is that he doesn't have any proxy pylons. He can't warp in aggressively, which is really going to bite him in the end, I feel, because even though he has +1, he has to run all this way to really get any units and any reinforcements, which is really not what you want in this case. He still should be able to do a ton of damage, since the upgrades of Sethian are very late here, and Tisken going very aggressively. He should be able to get the 3rd at least, but as I said, with the Warp Prism, he might just be able to kill him at least.
Yeah, and here comes Sethian's army. The Banelings are going in from the back. Wow, doing some great splash damage onto the Zealots. The Immortals not doing too much against such a big amount of Zerglings, but these +1 Zealots are just melting through the links of Sethian that are completely unupgraded. Let's see if he has enough right here. But Tisken is taking position on the ramp. Great position of play from Tisken.
Yeah, and here we go. The Immortal Marko has begun with that War Prism. He's picking them down again, and those links are dying so quickly. And here we go, the Warp in from the War Prism. A ton of cells coming out, and a few roaches coming out, actually. They can start kiting the cells, of course, but only after the snipe. The Immortal, I don't feel this can be the case, because he's killing them way too quickly, and he's doing so much damage. He should get the natural, and if he goes up the main, he could just warp in one sentry, and that should be it, really.
Yeah, absolutely. The +1 melee weapons finishing right now for Sethian, but it's not going to be doing a great deal here. The drones actually being pulled to fight the Immortals, and the Immortals and the Cells just melting through everything that Sethian has. He has just a couple of drones at the third base, and in the main, 3 Spine Crawlers are going down, but it's not going to be enough against such a great army from Chiskin, who's up 85 supply to 41.
GG! Wow, okay, that was not the longest game, but I must say it was quite interesting, and there was a lot of action packed in a short amount of time. I mean, proxy hatch, first of all, so many Zerglings, answering with that kind of build, and it was still, I mean, he almost was sniping one of the Immortals, so he got kind of close, I must say.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, what was his name? Chiskin.
Yeah.
I mean, he answered the aggression from Sethian very well.
Yeah.
He did pretty much what you are supposed to do. And yeah, I think that's it for that second game, which was, by the way, Gold League versus Gold League, and now we're going into our going to go into our last game from the casual leagues, which is going to be a Silver League versus a Gold League, and let's see who's playing.
Yes, our first player here is going to be Lucky Duck. His name is Gustav Westberg. He goes to KTH, and he's the race Terran, and he comes here from Stockholm. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he plays.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. He probably should mention that he is also a caster for the University SL, and he's been working with us, so he's quite a cool guy. His opponent here is going to be Synergy. His name is Sam. He's from Gothenburg, studying at Gothenburg University, and he's playing Zerg. With that said, I think it's time to get into the game.
Yes, and of course this is an ultimate test. Which is better, Gothenburg or Stockholm?
Oh, oof, absolutely.
A lot of pressure. But let's introduce the players. Yes, up to the top right here, playing for Team Duck, it's going to be Lucky Duck.
Absolutely, and his opponent here in the top left corner, it is going to be the Blue Zerg Synergy.
Yes, so a TVZ on Habitation Station. Now we can talk about Scarlet and Bomber.
Yeah, absolutely. Just one of the most amazing games in StarCraft history.
Yeah, most likely.
Pretty much.
Yeah, one of the most famous ones as well. I think Dana even said that was the best CVT ever seen, actually.
Personally, I'll have to say that is Life Against Joe, but it's probably just because I was there witnessing it live.
Oh yeah, I was there as well. That was awesome. That was even bigger than the finals.
Yeah, absolutely. That was just amazing being there with Team Property as well, and just running up to the booth after the game was completed. That was
completely sick. The audience was crazy.
Yeah, just watching the VODs of Life trying to get into the booth, but getting blocked by Show's teammates who's there like, congratulating him. It's awesome.
Yeah. Were you there as well at the booth?
I was there, actually.
Oh, cool. Always good to support your team.
Absolutely. I've been doing some stuff with Team Property, so...
Nice, nice.
Was there with them at DreamHack.
Cool. And I think right now, is this a 12-12?
It is a 12-12.
Okay, so we're going to see quite a few Reapers, if I'm correct.
Absolutely. I would suspect at least 2 Reapers coming out from Lucky Duck here. I have actually seen him play, because we did have a University Star League in-house tournament a while ago, and I saw a couple of games from Lucky Duck where he played Reaper into Bio. I think it was his standard build versus Zerg, just going into a lot of Marines with a medevac and marauder support and just skipping out on the factory units completely, which is something you can actually do against a Zerg, but you generally have to be a bit more aggressive, a bit more trade your armies a bit more, and do a bit more harassment with the medevacs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think right now Synergy actually opening up quite well, I would say, against such an opening. What Lucky Duck's doing, he's actually getting a pull first and gas as well. So he's going to have a very, very early speed, and he's also, of course, going to have those Zerglings and Queen very early on. So Reapers can't really do much, but it does sacrifice a lot of economy, and I feel he has to do some really heavy damage with these links, or at least deny any kind of Reaper harassment to make it worth it.
Yeah, very interesting build there from Synergy. I mean, going for the gas first and just mining 100, just getting 2 or 4 Zerglings, or just for like 4 Zerglings to be safe, would be just a safe variation, but I think this is an even more aggressive variant because I made 6 Zerglings and is keeping 1 drone and gas. So I don't think it's impossible that we're gonna see some sort of additional hatchery tech, which is the Roach Warren or the Baneling Nest anytime soon. Anyway, there's a fight here between the Zerglings and the Reaper, but great micro so far from LuckyDuck.
Yeah, for Wood did this actually with the drone here as well. It looks like he wants to take the gold base, and I feel he might just want to go into speedling, baiting, and take on the gold base as the second one, and then go either for really strong 2-base timing or try to defend the gold base at least, so he can be very greedy with it. But this Reaper harassment so far has been very successful, I must say.
Yeah, shutting down the build of Synergy really well has LuckyDuck done so far, actually forcing the drone back into his main base, so not going to be a third base anytime soon. He is actually keeping making Zerglings here, so has a lot of Zerglings, actually 8 so far, and is making 2 more, and is now once again moving out for the gold base, but LuckyDuck is there to greet him.
Yeah, but Speed is about to finish, and if he's not careful, he might just lose this Reaper. I think this is what Synergy was waiting for, and there we go. Speed just finished. Is he going to get this around? That Reaper is going to go down, and Synergy now gets to get his gold base, but that was really late. He stacked up to almost, what was it, an 800, 900 minerals? That was really high, and of course you don't want to stack up that high, so now he might just take a third base, or he will go really aggressive here, because he has to spend on something.
Yeah, absolutely. And Synergy, the thing about the gold bases is that because it has only 6 mineral patches compared to 8 of a normal one, it's not going to give you more minerals, but it's going to give you more minerals per worker. So he needs fewer drones to saturate that base. So it's going to be interesting to see what Synergy wants to do with this, because that means more lava and more minerals to spend on something else, for example, Zerglings.
Yeah, and right now he's adding on his third base. He's going to be 3 base versus 1 base for now at least. We do see the command center on the high ground for LuckyDuck. He's now also getting stim as well, so he looks like he wants to go quite early bio here. He's not getting any kind of tech with Factory or Stargate, Starport, and no Voiders this game. But let's see, so Factory just now coming down as well as the engineering base. It looks like he's going to go for quite a standard bio play here.
Yeah, LuckyDuck doing a typical play for his playstyle here, I would say. Actually skipping out on the second Reaper as well as the Factory, which would be standard, both of them, to just get some Hellions out for the map control. Is instead going to go for a lot of Marines very early, and a bit later will float out with his second command center, but it's going to come down now, I think, as the Marines are securing his natural. So it's going to be pure bio so far, with a quite an early stim and quite an early +1, I suspect. So quite a scary Marine Marauder push from LuckyDuck is what I think, but I also think that Synergy's play is going to match up quite well against that, because it's going to have a lot of Zerglings and Banelings with his gold base.
Yeah, I do like that he got his Baneling nest in a quite good timing at least, and of course the speed is already done, so he's going to have no problem with that. He's getting Fnu nice carry pace as well. I think the name is, so he's going to have Overlord speed on the way for you guys who don't know the name of that. And basically it means that he can now scout the entire base of LuckyDuck very, very easily. And now, I mean, LuckyDuck doesn't add a third command center, instead he's adding a ton of barracks. And I think this should indicate he wants to do a 2-base push quite heavily.
Yeah, I would think so. And yeah, no defensive structure here at the natural for LuckyDuck except for that bunker, but here is 3 additional barracks going down. So it's going to go up to 5 racks. I suspect it's going to add on reactors to all of them, to all of those 3, as well as a reactor starport that is going to be landed right now. So LuckyDuck playing quite well, keeping his minerals very low, which is something you really need to do as to be a good macro play. But here comes the scouting overloading. He has to see everything actually, so he knows the exact amount of production as well as tech structures in the base of LuckyDuck.
Yeah, and I just have to point out as well that Synergy right now is on a very low gas amount. He does only have 2 gases right now mining, but he's getting his Baneling speed, and since he has so much minerals, he can add on his macro reactors as well if he wants to. So basically this means he won't get any mutas, and he has actually forgotten to make any upgrades. He doesn't have the evos, so he's not ready to make the upgrades, but he's ready to hold. He's ready to hold on any ground attack as long as there's not too many medevacs, because the medevac count will get kind of crazy unless LuckyDuck, you know, stops making them, really.
Yeah, and one rule as playing against Zerg is that you want to get some sort of map control units, whether it be the Reapers, the Hellions, the Banshees, something like that. LuckyDuck has made the only map control unit he's made so far is the Reaper, and is just gone into pure army units, which means that Synergy has got complete map control for free here, but LuckyDuck is putting some aggression on here with his dropship going into the gold base here, and wow, actually picks up and goes away. The great micro from LuckyDuck shows that he's ready. Might want to drop a Marine on those Banelings. Yes, trading extremely efficiently here with one Marine versus, just killing all those Banelings of Synergy. There is LuckyDuck, and is now actually going to kill some drones as well, getting a lot of value out of this dropship.
Yeah, and as you can see, he just finished up his +1. He's going to finish up his +1 attack as well, and this means now the Banelings do not one-hit the Marine Marines, they 2-hit them, and that is a big, big difference. Of course, now he will need so many more banelings to survive. And look at the creep threat from Synergy for a second here. He has basically no creep threat whatsoever, nothing binding the bases. If Lucky Duck was to attack here, he would have basically have banelings who wouldn't one-hit Marines on basically no creep. He doesn't have any good defense, really, if Lucky Duck goes for the push.
Extremely defensive play here from Synergy, though. Has in total, I think that's 6 spine crawlers, if I'm correct.
Wow.
Yeah, no, 4 spine crawlers with an additional 2 on the way. So yeah, there's going to be 6 spine crawlers spread out on all his bases, as well as banelings in the main base as well. So very good defense. He's ready for the drops, but this sacrifices a lot of drones and a lot of economy, as well as a lot of straight-up army here from Synergy. So quite a weird play right here, as Lucky Duck might want to go for the push pretty soon, because the army supply is 58 against 24 in favor of the Terran.
Yeah, and this is a really big advantage, to be honest. Usually, as a Zerg player, you want to be ahead of the Terran. If you're 20 ahead, then, you know, you're getting a bit ahead. But of course, when the Terran is, what is it now, 50 supply ahead of his opponent? That is insanity, to be honest. The Synergy was supplying for quite some time here. While he's not getting any more upgrades, really, for his ground units. He's getting his carapace of flying, and of course, this opened us for mutas. But now with more upgrades going down here for Lucky Duck, and his push coming out here, it's looking very, very scary for Synergy, even though he's getting those 42 Zerglings.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Synergy, he's going to have quite a scary army, but speaking of scary army, here comes Lucky Duck not pulling any SCVs, which he might as well do with this push, because he doesn't have a third base and he does not really have any great follow-up, but it's just such a scary army right here. I don't really see what Synergy can do with such a spread out army. He's making 3 more spine crawlers, but Lucky Duck is just going to stim those down and take a great position on the high ground. Here comes Synergy.
Yeah, and Synergy right now only with the links in the beginning, but here comes the banelings. He's going to hit everything. He's going to, oh my god, the hits! He takes down the entire army of Lucky Duck, and he's going to hold somehow.
Wow, Synergy just with extremely good trading there. Actually, still far behind on the units lost tab, but that was a great engagement from Synergy, who's now going for the counter-attack, but Lucky Duck is ready with a supply depot wall as well as 1 bunker, so he's going to be able to hold this.
Yeah, I mean, these links can't do anything to the wall of Lucky Duck, but remember, he's still on 2 bases. He's getting his third right now, but Synergy needs to shut this down. As long as Synergy can keep his 3-base lead, actually, you know, all those works for Lucky Duck aren't really helping him too much, since soon he'll mine out his main, and he needs to push out, so he's going to force Lucky Duck to be honest, very aggressive and push out.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Lucky Duck is gonna go aggressive anytime soon. He does have the +2 attack as well as the +1 armor on his bionic unit, so he's quite far ahead on the upgrade tab. There is actually +1 air carapace from Synergy, who is going for the 7 mutas as well. So mutas is going to be able to do some good harassment, but taking an engagement straight up with Mutalisk against such a great count of Marines is going to be really scary. However, speaking of really scary, this is a double drop coming from Lucky Duck towards the main of Synergy, I think.
Yeah, he's going to drop here in the main of Synergy, and it can actually do quite a bit of damage. Synergy hasn't noticed it yet, and here we go. Now he's in the main. That's quite a lot of Zerglings here, but I think he might... No, okay, he's not going to drop. He doesn't even try it. He knows there's mutas out as well. And these mutas might just catch both the medevacs. That would be great snipe here for Synergy. He needs every single little thing he can get. Oh, but he gets the drop.
The boost. But it's going to be enough. No, the mutas are just catching up these Marines, and he's going to be able to gun down this dropship as well. Or, well, mutas don't really have any guns, but they are throwing some stuff with their feet, and that's scary enough.
If they had, though. Oh my god, I would never stop making mutas.
Legacy of the Void, please.
Please, Blizzard, if you hear this, get them some lasers. We want mutas with lasers. Well, Zerg plays
No, I don't. But you want. I understand that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lucky Duck's army here. Super Marauder heavy. I'm really intrigued by this. I'm not sure why this is, actually. He does only have 2 reaction barracks, and 1 naked, and 3 with reactors. So this means, or 3 with tech lab. This means that his army is like mainly consisting of Marauders, which is obviously going to be great against the Banelings. But a big Zerglings around with Muta support, it's going to be scary to deal with when you're so Marauder heavy.
Yeah, I mean, this Marauder heavy is like when you face Ultras or something, when you really want to snipe those. But this is kind of early for this amount, as you point out. But I have to point out as well, Lucky Duck right now in the 6 o'clock position, or maybe 5 o'clock to be honest, is getting his own little hidden base. And as long as Synergy doesn't see this, that is really going to pay off, because I mean, as long as Synergy thinks his opponent is on 2 bases, he's just going to assume that his economy is going to get worse and worse, and he's just going to play defensive. And Lucky Duck now pushing out with a great army as well, to point out. Even though he doesn't kill his opponent, this 1 base will really help him a ton in this game.
Absolutely. Lucky Duck now going for the attack. Not sure if he wants to go for the gold base as it's getting low already.
Yeah, he probably wants to focus down either the building base here or just go up here. But oh my god, that's a lot of mutants and that's a lot of banelings. And here we go. Are the splits enough though? It looks like Synergy doesn't want to attack off creep. And so many Marauders. Oh my god, look at the tanking. Great connection still, but they tank so much. Now it's Mutant versus Marine. And Marines are doing so much damage to the Mutants as well. Those Marauders are picking off the natural. And I think the Marines might just be cleaned up, but at what cost?
No, the mutants are going down.
Oh
It
my
looks like the medevacs aren't enough. There are like 10 medevacs here, almost a personal medevac for each of the bionic units, and Lucky Duck is pushing through right here. But there's a great wave of circlings here for Synergy. It looks like he's gonna hold on.
Yeah, is it enough though? I think it might just be, he could just pick up though and leave if he wanted to, but so much damage.
No,
Look at, oh my god! The strength of Lucky Duck right now, those upgrades are helping so much, and I feel this might just be enough. Here goes the Spire, and he might just push up into the main, and there's nothing Synergy can do. No amount of Zerglings will attack into this and kill it. No amount of Banelings that he can get right now, and there are no mutants out to help really.
Synergy has 2 Spine Callers, but not really much else. He has 36 Zerglings on the way, so he's going to try for a last stand here on the high ground. But Lucky Duck is 100 supply up. It's going to be a super hard to hold for Synergy, and there is a great position on the ramp for Lucky Duck. I think this is GG. Synergy might be taken out here by Lucky Duck.
Yeah, Synergy's army has been obliterated. Every single building being demolished, and here we go. Lucky Duck pushing for the win, and I think Synergy right now just melting the news. He's just trying to find some way to really get out of this. But remember, Lucky Duck is maxing out against an 80 supply Zerg. There's only 2 bases left for Synergy. The Lynx are dying, and it looks like Lucky Duck, who's sniping this building hive, should just finish the game.
Well, I'm just clicking on some of these Marauders. 16 kills, 17 kills, 14 kills, 13 kills on these Marauders. He's been doing so much work. The hive is now going down, and Lucky Duck looks like he might take down this series in the casual league.
Yeah, this is a great play by Lucky Duck, and he's just pushing through. I'm not sure if he knows about the 4th base, and of course he can snipe the gold base at any point really. But, I mean, every tech building is going down. Synergy right now trying to find some way. He's really building his spine, his spawning pool, but it's not going to be enough. Here we go, everything dying, and in a few seconds we should just see the GG.
Yeah, meanwhile, while Lucky Duck was killing the main base, he had like 70 supply of bio units just standing in his natural, and they are now having a party over at the gold base here for Synergy. So 36 supply against the Max Terran. I think we all know what is going to happen right here. Lucky Duck's going to find this last base for Synergy, and there is the GG. Lucky Duck takes
GG!
home.
Yeah, and of course this was actually a 2-0 now for Lucky Duck, so that was probably why he stayed so long. Really wanted to make sure he could actually try to win the best of 3 at least, but in the end Lucky Duck was the winner. So very well done, I must say. And overall, a really cool game, back and forth, but it seemed like after he got that quite early lead on, he kind of just kept it.
Yeah, there was a great engagement there from, what was his name, the Zerg player?
His name was Synergy, right.
Synergy, yeah, there was a great engagement there with at his gold base where the Baneling was able to kill so many Marines. But I mean, Lucky Duck just showed the strength of having a lot of Marauders. They are not usually that good against Zerglings, but with so many medevacs as support, I mean, the Zerglings don't really kill the Marauders.
No.
And with the medevacs healing, that is, yeah, you just saw what happened. The Marauders slaughtered through the Zerglings, which isn't really supposed to happen.
No, absolutely not. It had great upgrades as well. So, yeah, it was a great game to see, and of course, congratulations to Lucky Duck for winning. I think we're ready to introduce our next players. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you just tuned in, this is UniSL Star League Season 3 2014. Right now casting the 4th game of today out of 5 games. And it's going to be our first player here, introducing Glorfindel. His name is Andreas Lindgren. He's right now in the University of Linköping. His race is Terran, and he comes from Norrköping.
Wow, a lot of great StarCraft personalities coming out from Norrköping. Did not expect that. Let's see who he's going against in this game. It looks like there he is, Joachim Jäderberg from Kitty Age, a Protoss from Stockholm, and his nickname is Banana Shell.
So, Norrköping was Stockholm, this is going to be interesting.
Absolutely, and let's just dive straight into the action here in the bottom right corner. I think he is like Elrond's son or something, like Arwen's sister.
I think not sure. Something like that, yeah.
I was into Lord of the Rings, but I'm not entirely sure. It's something like that anyway. Here it is the Red Terran Glorfindel.
Yes, and his opponent in the top left here of Heavy Rain playing for Alice, it's going to be Banana Shell. and you don't want to slip on him. So,
Yes, indeed, absolutely.
so TVP, what do you think?
It's going to be refreshing to see a matchup that is Zergless. I think we've only been casting Zerg so far. We are going to see a Zerg in the last game, as we are going to be featuring our Season 2 champion Winter, so make sure to stay for that. But right now, yes, the only Zergless matchup here is going to be a Terran versus Protoss, and yeah, Banana Shell against Glorfindel. Heavy Rain, of course, as most maps in the map pool, it is a very good blink map. So yeah, you always got to be scared for the blink, for the potential for the blink all-ins or the blink pressure coming out of Banana Shell. Meanwhile, Glorfindel, of course, with the Widowmine buff, I think Widowmines is a lot better in this matchup. They haven't really been used that much historically, just for some harassment, but going for like a lot of Widowmines in this matchup right here, or right now with the buff, is not bad at all. What do you think?
Yeah, I really actually like the new buff they have made to Widowmines doing damage to shielded units, actually, because in CVT they were still very, very strong, so you could just buff the damage. But you know, versus pros, they didn't really do, they didn't really have the sting they should have, really. You could just march through them, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, TVP on this map, I would actually expect Banana Shell. I'm not going to say he's going to, but I want to say that there is a big possibility that we might just see Blink play. And there are a lot of different Blink plays here on this map. And I mean, one great one, for instance, is when you go Blink and try to expand off it and just hold the Terran back on one base as long as possible. And it's really easy to do on this map as well, since you have this huge, huge ledge you can just blink up very easily on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a great play, and you can either expand first and then go into the blink, or go for the blink first and then expand. There are really a lot of variations, but you're talking about like 3-get blink, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then that's a really good play. You, of course, with the Heart of the Swarm edition, which is not that new, is over 1 year old right now, you don't need the Observer with it anymore, so you don't have to go for the Robo, because you just have the Mothership Core for high ground vision, of course.
Yeah, but we do have a nice eBay block here by Glorfindel, so it seems like Banana Shell will have to use his Zealot, but I don't think he scouted it, which is going to be quite troublesome, because he wants to kill it as soon as possible. The more you build on that engineering bay, the worse, really. And I think he might just build almost all the way here, going to cancel. Oh no! He does. He finishes it.
It's complete. Wow, yeah. That's.
If you wonder, by the way, ladies and gents, why we are a bit stunned by this, is because often when you see this, you finish up to like 95, 99% something, and then you just cancel it to get back the minerals. But anyhow, we do have 2 Reapers in the main of Banana Shell. Sorry, yeah. No, actually, there was mainly Glorfindel. I'm just messing up the colors right now.
Absolutely. Here we do have 2 Reapers. Actually going for Reactor into Double Reaper, which is a player can do. But I would say that it's often going to be followed up by another barracks and continuous Reaper production to just like get out 5 Reapers in there and just do some direct damage. But Glorfindel just went for the 2 and then into a command center and a second barracks, as well as building 2 Marines and the missile turret extremely early. And wow, that's why he let the engineering bay complete. That's pretty smart.
Oh, that's pretty smart.
I didn't think of that.
Oh, wow, okay.
I was like, how can you build a missile turret? You need an engineering bay for that. Oh wait.
Oh, wait, I see what you did there. Yeah, so it looks like Glorfindel this time will be safe against both DTRS in the mineral line, at least, and also, more importantly, I would say, against Oracle play. So now he knows he can't be attacked by Oracles, and we do see Banana Shell getting the Stargate, so already great play here for Glorfindel, and he's, of course, getting his second base, so he's trying to get everything up to this. Meanwhile, Banana Shell, though, is pushing over the map, and I'm not sure how much Glorfindel saw with that Reaper, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think he saw the main army, and we do only have 4 Marines here in the main base for Glorfindel. He's getting up the bunker, though, which is something he will need, as well as bringing back 1 Reaper, and having 1 Reaper on the fence. Managed to take down 1 probe there at the natural, but pulling back with the Reaper, so he's gonna defend here with some Reapers and a Reaper and some Marines with the bunker, so it's probably gonna be fine. But as you said, Banana Shell is gonna be able to contain Glorfindel for a while. I don't think he can walk down this ramp anytime soon.
No, he absolutely cannot attack up this ramp, and there we go. The bunker has been used by those Marines, and now pushing back this entire force. I think Banana Shell will just have to recall. No, he uses a slow. Okay, so no more recall, and I think he might just lose the Mothership Core if he's not careful. The Mothership Core is not as quick as those Marines, and here we go. It will absolutely go down. That Stalker might as well go down to the Reaper unless he throws it down. Oh my god, they kill each other.
Absolutely, and there was somewhat of a misplay for Banana Shell, but honestly it's not too big of a deal losing that Mothership Core, because losing it without energy, If he was able to get away and go back to his own base, it was still going to be very low on energy. So if he remakes it, it's going to have more energy, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Oracle is going for the main base of Glorfindel, and MrBadExample actually managed to bait out those Marines, so there are no Marines in the main base, but there is the turret.
Yeah, that one turret is going to help so much here. Let's see, yeah, okay, MrBadExample is keeping track on this. He's not going to lose way too much health. He takes 1 health hit by that turret. It does take some more damage from those Marines, but now it's just going to leave, and he now knows exactly what's going on. Of course, now Glorfindel knows there is Stargate tech, so he's now getting a turret in his natural base, and of course getting his combat shield and stim during this.
Yeah, extremely defensive play here from Glorfindel so far. Actually went for double bunker in the main base in positions where it would be great against Blink. But anyway, and actually saving up a ton of scans also against potential DT play. Has 3 scans saved up right now, so defensive play from Glorfindel, it's gonna pay off because MrBadExample has done no damage so far, and it's not going for too much of a greedy build right now. Just now going for the Observer.
Yeah, and I mean right now MrBadExample trying to do some damage with these oracles, but not really going to happen it seems. And as you said, he's getting his Observer out, so he's going to be able to scout quite a bit. They're both on 2 bases, so I wouldn't say any one of them is really far behind. I would say though that MrBadExample needs to add on a bit more of a tech right here and get a forge soon if he wants to really play the macro game.
The Oracles are getting in here, killing off 1, 2, 3 SCVs. No, only 2 SCVs actually, and then it's getting out of there. So 2 Oracles making the second one is quite interesting, I think, because now he really commits that it has to do some damage. Oh, might actually lose an Oracle there, and it's going to lose 1, it's going to lose 2. He cannot really lose these Oracles because they are such a great utility in the late game with the Envision ability. So, yeah, I think he has to keep these Oracles alive. He does manage to keep 1 alive. Anyway, Glorfindel here is moving out with a bunch of Marines and Marauders, but no high attack, no Medivac or anything, but he's going to have combat shield, stim, and concussive shells, so all the tech lab upgrades.
Yeah, when you attack like this and don't really have any drop capabilities, you usually just want to force the photon overcharge here from MrBadExample. As soon as he gets the photon overcharge, he should basically just get out of that, to be honest. You can't really take on this army, especially if there's a sentry. He might try to get into the main, and nice sniping here, I must say, but of course he can't take the battle for too long. He's going to lose way too many units to the photon overcharge, and oh, where's the force field? That is the force field, and I think maybe all the units will go down here for Glorfindel, to be honest.
Extremely defensive play there from Glorfindel, actually standing in and trying to snipe as many units as possible, which is, it is a fine play. I mean, he traded somewhat cost efficient at least, as well as forcing out the photon overcharge, but I do have to say this is a great reactionary play from Glorfindel. As he killed the mothership quite earlier, he knew there was only going to be 1 photon overcharge. In normal cases, you would come in, or in a normal game, you would come in here and see the mothership core with 200 energy and 2 photon overcharges. But right now, it did only have 1, so Glorfindel adapting to that very well.
Yeah, and this might, this might actually play a role in the late game, or sorry, later in the game, because if he attacks in the front once again and forces the second photon overcharge, basically the Motion Core won't afford the third one, and he can just drop into the main base. But what we do see now from MrBadExample is that he's getting his extended thermal lance and forge, so he's getting into this macro game, while Glorfindel, he's getting his own upgrades, getting his second engineering bay as well, and they're both really just gearing up at this moment, not really much poking going on.
Yeah, Glorfindel is going for real power play here. He is taking his 3rd base as well as going up to 6 barracks with, actually 4 of them with the tech labs so far. So it's going to go for an extremely large army and just a big frontal assault with not that many upgrades, not that much tech. Just going for the pure power, pure macro here of the Terran player. Anyway, it looks like MrBadExample actually wants to move out on the map here with the Colossus, with 1 Colossus, 1 Immortal, and just some Zealots as well as 2 Stalkers. So I'm not too big of a fan of this unit composition actually. With the Colossus, you usually want both sentries and Stalkers to defend it, and there's actually 0 sentries right here.
Yeah, I mean, those sentries really do help you when you have stimmed bio coming in, and the question really comes down to basically with the extended thermal lance now, if Glorfindel is going to pre-split, if he's going to be able to come from behind, for instance, or if he's really just going to attack in the front and maybe just get kited for ages by that 1 Colossus, which can do a ton of damage, to be honest.
Great scouting effort, Glorfindel actually boosting out with Medivac and seeing exactly where MrBadExample's army is, but MrBadExample also got down on the vision on this army, but wow, Glorfindel actually fancies his chances here as he's stimming in, and wow, great channel work from MrBadExample though. It's allowing these settlers to close the gap into the Marauders and Marines, but yeah, it looks like Glorfindel might have been biting off a bit more than he could chew right here.
Yeah, I think so. He's losing a ton of his bio, and here comes the second Colossus as well. The first one lost barely half of its shields, and now this 3rd base is in danger. Of course, he can just lift it up, but now he can't mine anymore from it, and here comes Glorfindel. He's looking to do more and more damage. A lot of those SCVs are going down. It looks like Glorfindel will survive for now at least, but every single volley from those two Colossi doing so much damage to the eco line of our Terran player.
Well, he keeps going with SCVs and loses all of them against the Colossi. And the Zealots, 2 Vikings are out here right now, so they are just going to gun down the Colossi. But, wow, he's actually forced to boost out with this Medivacs and his main arm right here. He's going to be able to kill 1 Colossi, yes, he is, but can't go for the second one. And Banana Shell with a great 2-base push right here with his first 2 Colossi. Lost his mothership core, though.
Yeah, he did lose his mothership core, which is quite unfortunate for him, but of course now Glorfindel has to hold on. He doesn't have way too many Vikings at least, and those Stalkers of course will try to make sure that Colossus survives for as long as possible. Here comes the SCV pool. Remember, right now Banana Shell needs to kill those workers as much as possible. Right now though, Colossus is not going down yet at least, but here comes the Vikings. They're looking for blood, and I think he might just be able to snipe it right here.
Yeah, guns down that Colossi, and that means that he's stemmed. Bio with the +1/+1 upgrades is going to be pretty much fine against these Zealots and Stalkers, so he's pushing back Banana Shell for now and is establishing his 3rd base once more. And 1 more Colossi is here for Banana Shell though, but it's going to be gunned down by the Vikings then with additional units coming out from Glorfindel. I think he's in a good position to push this back. Huge bang for Banana Shell though.
Yeah, a huge bang for Banana Shell indeed, and right now though Glorfindel is taking some heavy casualties. He's getting his 3rd base, but of course the same goes for Banana Shell, and even though Glorfindel will survive this, he is taking so much damage, and he did lose so many work. He's down to 39 versus the 55 of Banana Shell.
Wow, 3 base Protoss to be with 55 workers is really scary. Actually building a Void Ray right here, as well as warping in more Zealots and chrono boosting out his Colossi. So quite a scary army for Banana Shell. He has not remade his mothership core though. That will maybe be a big deal later, because Photon Overcharge and Time Warp are still very good in the mid game.
Yeah, it's right now being built here, and oh, that was a nice relation by the way by the Oracle. So
But the Oracle went down.
Yeah, it did go down indeed, but he'll now see that Glorfindel is pushing out. So that was at least a great tell, and that's what we were pointing out before, why those Oracles are so important later as well in the game, even though they can't do much damage. And this is going to be a very tight hold for Banana Shell, who really now has to get those force fields down.
Yeah, he's going to be able to kill these rocks, and this is going to buy him a little bit of time, but with such a huge amount of Medivacs here for Glorfindel, just going up into those with his Bio and boosting in, it's going to be an option. But the Void Ray is here as well as some sentries, but as I said, force fields are not going to be too good against such a large amount of air units.
No, and the problem as well is that he doesn't have too many Stalkers, which means that those Vikings can do quite a bit of damage, although Glorfindel really needs more Vikings. But here we go, the lift up into the main base, and Banana Shell already taking some heavy damage. Here comes more Vikings trying to do damage to the Colossus, and oh my god, he might just snipe both of them.
Wow, the Colossi are completely on their own right there. He's going to be able to gun down one of them. Good force field though, just forcing them close together, and this splash damage from those 2 Colossi doing so much damage to the Bio of Glorfindel right here. But as well as coming, more units are streaming in from that red Terran player, and he's going to be able to gun down this last Colossi. And in small numbers, these Bio units are just going to be able to rip through the gateway tech of Banana Shell with the support of the Medivacs. But it looks like Banana Shell might actually be able to clean up the main base, but more units are coming in from Glorfindel. This 3rd Nexus is going to go down.
Yeah, beautiful play by Glorfindel, and he now is targeting down the 3rd base. As you said, the question is, will it go down? I think it just should actually. He does have those cells. The charge isn't done, and here we go. The 3rd Nexus is going down, and now we do have a Protoss on 2 bases once again. And Banana Shell, all he has to do, oh my god, the aggressive mules, and GG from Banana Shell. Wow.
Wow, the GG as an instant reaction to those mana mules. Great play from Glorfindel there. Banana Shell might just have gone a little bit too far there with his 2 base Colossi push, and taking a 3rd base behind it was somewhat of a greedy play, which Glorfindel just took complete advantage of.
Yeah, he didn't do enough damage to really kill off his opponent, and then he extended one Colossus as he did get the 3rd, so that's a bit unfortunate, and now it looks like Glorfindel will get the 1st game in the best of 3, but since this were some replays we're catching right now, we won't get into the 2nd one. Instead, we're getting ready for our last game here, which is going to be between 2 great players, with one of them, of course, being our previous champion.
Absolutely, and it's time. Brace yourself.
Brace yourselves.
Winter's coming.
Yes, winter's coming, and winter's actually here. His name is Felix Hegeton. He's right now with a Red Cross college is the right name for it. He is a Zerg player, and he comes from Stockholm, and he's maybe one of the top Zergs in Sweden right now.
Absolutely, I think he's such a good player. Was previously on Love Your Girlfriend, the team which somewhat disbanded, but yeah, we'll see what happens here. His opponent, at least, is going to be Nilin, Hampus Nilin, studying in Gothenburg, and he is going to be playing Terran in this game. So Terran versus Zerg here, and I have the map. It is going to be a Habitation Station.
Yes, it's going to be a TVZ on Habitation Station, and let's introduce our first player, spawning to the top right, playing for ECV. It's going to be Winter.
Wow, one of the maybe top 5 Zergs in Sweden. I'd have to say that going to be really scary for this player. Up in the top left corner, the purple Terran playing for 9-inch nails. It is Nilin.
Yes, and this is going to be a Diamond versus Masters replay. I do have to warn you though, I know Winter quite well, and I do know he has some accounts in Grandmaster as well, so he's quite a scary player. And he plays for ECV, as you pointed out, previously with the Love Your Girlfriend, and I would say, yeah, he's one of the top Zergs right now. We have Sandster, sort of. We have Winter. Who else do we have? Madalisk.
Mineracer.
No, sorry, Madalisk. Yeah. Mineracer, yeah.
Sniffer, maybe. Yeah, there are a couple.
Yeah, a couple, but yeah, I think he's up there somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'd have to say so. Anyway, not sure how to pronounce the 9-inch nails player. Are we gonna go the Swedish way?
Yeah, Nilin.
Nilin.
Yeah, Nilin. Really Swedish.
Really Swedish. Nilin.
Nilin.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
wonderful. This one drone though, he's scouting everywhere on the map because he knows there is a possibility of some cheese coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. The proxy racks possibility is always there. So Winter's just making sure that none of those shenanigans are going to be coming out. Not going to scout his opponent's base with that drone though. Is instead going to go back and build his natural hatchery.
Yeah, he's just going to scout with that one Overlord instead. He knows he won't lose it, of course, because there's no real possibility of having Marines out yet if just going for standard build. And I'm really interested to see what's going to happen in this game. Right now, though, Winter is getting, of course, his first expansion. He hasn't gotten his pool yet, though. And now he's just scouting. Basically, there's a standard build coming out here with a Reaper first from Nilin.
Absolutely, and it's going to be one Reaper to start with, and we did see SpaceDuck going for the Reaper play earlier, but that was quite a weird Reaper play, not standard at all, I would say, as it was one Reaper into just additional barracks and going into bio. Something that is more standard is just going for, I'd say, 2 Reapers into Hellions, because then you can just take complete map control and also have the potential to always just go up into the Zerg's main base or the natural base and gonna have some sort of a grill party there roasting up the drones. So that is going to be the possibility for Nilin if he wants to go for something like that. Anyway, the first Reaper is out and there is the second one on the way, and he is keeping mining gas, so I suspect the factor is going to be coming down as well.
Yeah, so we might have to look forward to that drone roastage later on, and with the second Reaper coming out, as you said, we will have the possibility for the 4 or 6 Hellion even with 2 Reapers, which is so strong. Even against Queens, to be honest, it's very hard to hold on to. If you did see May last night, he did play that a lot actually. And now he's going to start harassing. You really don't want to lose anything to one Reaper. You're not even supposed to lose one drone, so he's just trying to survive right now, lose as little as possible. You don't even want to lose these Zerglings. He has to watch out. Any damage right now with this Reaper is good damage, and good job by Nilin, I must say. Some really solid kiting here.
Yeah, solid mark from Winter as well, though. Is just lost one of his Zerglings there and no drones. Actually, just going up to the 2 Queens right here. Not producing additional ones, but as I said, that there is the 3rd Queen on the production tab as well. So going up to 3 Queens initially. Let's see if there is 4, because with 3 Queens against some big Hellion Reaper play, which is what Nilin is going to go for, it might actually be somewhat troublesome.
Yeah, I mean, when you get a lot of Hellions out, you really want to have those Queens out as well. If you watch live, for instance, he gets up to 5 Queens, or even 6 Queens, just spreads creep all over the place. Of course, he gets a bit less minerals for that, and less drones, but of course, it is really worth it in the end if you do get aggression towards you. So now here we go, he swaps onto the factory, onto the reactor with the factory, and it's going to produce more and more of those Hellions. But do you see what I see? We have a second factory on the way.
Wow, a second factory. So I would suspect this to be some sort of blue flame play. It's going to be quite interesting to see how that unfolds. If Winter goes for the 3rd base that is not the gold, I think that is going to be a lot better for Nilin, because you can just see such a huge surface area here at that third base. But if Winter goes for the goal, it's going to be a bit harder because it's a bit easy to block off with the buildings and queens.
Yeah, and I mean, as I said, we should probably see some blue flame. Here we go, by the way, Winter is poking in. He sees there are Hellions in and there are some Reapers out, so basically can't do too much damage. But of course, he doesn't lose too much. Some really good control from both the players, I must say. But as you said, you know, we might see some blue flame player here, and if we do, we probably will see a ton of Hellions being made, and the usual kind of, you know, poke to the third base and try to get into the natural and just kill everything.
Absolutely, it's going to be really interesting to see. And Nilin does have his third command center completed. Has not showed his hand really if he wants to go for bio or mech so far. Only mining off of one gas, but has not went for any add-on on the barracks. And is actually leaving the barracks completely undoing anything. I'm not sure what word I was looking for.
Idle.
Idle, yeah, completely idle barracks right now. So that leads me to believe that Nilin is going to be eventually throwing down an armory and a couple of barracks more.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, with the blue flame here, he's going to have a very strong timing, although he's getting his engineering bay behind it. I'm not really sure if it's just for turrets or if it will try to get +1 as well. It seems like he's still, you know, getting his SCVs. He's still, you know, he has on 3 command centers. He's not going completely all in with it, but he wants to do damage, absolutely, since he's sacrificing a lot of tech because of this. Although Winter already getting his Spire up, he got quite an early lair. His third base is very late because of it, but he has a lot of links and quite a few queens. So if he can just hold on this aggression, he should be in a prime position. But if Nilin was to get into the natural or main and start sniping drones, this could be a very short game in our hands.
Oh, the circle is just going to get roasted right here. Blue Flame is not quite done, but as Winter spots that amount of Hellions, I think he knows what is up right here. Blue Flame is going to be done right in 3, 2, 1. Oh, Blue Flame is on right there, and it looks like the Circles are going to be pulling off right there. So Nilin actually not losing anything, I think, but somewhat of an anti-timing there with the completion of the Blue Flame. Anyway, a counterattack for Winter in the main base here.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a good move, but here we go, though. Those Hellions are getting into the third base, and it seems like Nilin held for now at least, killing off quite a few drones. Is Nilin. Winter's still ahead, though. Nilin still needs to kill quite a few drones. He's going up to the natural right now, and there's nothing to stop him. So Link's coming out from left and right, but that blue flame is being so effective, and now drones are being pulled. They're dying left and right, and Nilin suddenly takes a worker lead.
Wow, 73 supply to 45, and we can just see the strength of the blue flame against the light units. The drones are just going to get roasted right here. Wow,
oh
just
my
look
God.
at that. That is amazing. Nilin is doing so much damage to Winter right here. But just note on the production tab, 10 mutas on the way.
Yeah, those mutas will really shut this down, but remember though, he's not done, and those workers stacking up once again. Look at this, Winter down to 20 workers only, 19, and more of them are going down to this blue flame. He's going down to 14 workers before he cleans this up, and oh my God, 14 versus 49, or even 50. This game is maybe just over and out unless he can do damage with these mutas.
And the gold base also down for Nilin right here, but the mutas are going straight over there. Are going to be cancelling these two turrets, and that was somewhat of a flaw in Nilin's play, I think. He was just got caught up with how much damage he was able to do with his Hellions, so he just forgot his transition, which looks like it's going to be by right here. So he could have went for a lot earlier stim, a lot earlier on the additional barracks as well. So I think Nilin could have done a lot better job with the transition. But anyway, of course, such great play from Nilin so far.
I think he's going for it, and he's going for it. Those SCVs are being pulled, but I don't think it's going to be enough. 120 health. Okay, he's going to leave it. He doesn't want to extend, but oh my God, there's no turret in the natural as well. Sorry, in main base. He does have enough of space ready to start sniping workers.
And the natural of Winter, though. There's round 2 of the Blue Flame Hellions. 4 Blue Flame Hellions coming, roasting even more workers. And now 44 workers killed for Nilin so far. But it's meanwhile Winter's doing damage in Nilin's base. So just these players have just great tools of harassment, both of them, and they aren't really able to answer the other player.
Yeah, I mean, they're both killing each other's workers so quickly. Winter's down to 8 workers. Oh my God, soon he's even beginning from scratch again. 6 workers, here we go. And Elaine still 31. I mean, Winter killed a lot, but this is not even close to enough. Right now, Elaine has 5 times the workers of Winter, and Winter just trying somehow to scratch himself back into the game. He's just clawing himself back into the game, but how? How could he ever, get back into it? There's so many turrets here, and Nilin is just producing more and more of those Marines.
So there's actually 6 turrets in the main base here for Nilin, but none of them are really protecting the mineral line, so they could have been better placed. I think he's producing a lot of marines, and here are 3 window mines on the prototype finally. But there's also circlings in the natural of Nilin. He has a lot of minerals, but has not been producing any additional blue flame Hellions. So here are Winter doing a lot of damage. And are these window mines actually going to finish?
No, they're not. Actually, he's going to kill off the factory. This is a huge snipe by Winter, and now he's going for the supply depots. If he gets in here, he can do some really crippling damage. He needs this. This is one of the few ways he can get back into this. If he kills the turrets, it's suddenly open up for the mutants to just kill off everything. With the Zerglings and with the mutants, he might just be able to clean up those marines. And here comes the mutants. They don't care about the turrets right now, killing off enough at least to make sure those links can do some damage into the mineral line of Nilin.
Well, huge damage for Winter so far. One window mine has completed though. Let's see. It is burrowed right next to the main command center. So let's see if Nilin is able to bait the mutants in. Oh, the window mine going to shoot.
Ooh,
wow,
nice.
great shot from the window mine. And here comes the marines. Wow, Winter's taking such a bad engagement right here. It's going to lose almost all his mutalists. Wow, it's down to 4 mutants from that one window mine.
Oh my god, he attacked into the marines and the turret, but look at the workers. Somehow Winter takes it back, and now they're equal in workers. The game is not over, ladies and gentlemen. Right now we have the game still in our hands, and we might just get into a stabilized position, I would say.
Yeah, 57 to 54 workers killed. One of the bloodiest games I've ever seen. 112 workers killed in 15 minutes. That's pretty scary to be a worker in this game.
That is, I don't want to be working in this game. Please don't make me do this. And I mean, right now Winter is getting he's scouting very well with the mutants, I would say. He's looking for any openings, any kind of way to snipe any workers at this point. He needs every edge he can get, and he has a ton of lava. He's going to make so many more workers right now. And all he needs to do really is just drone up over and over again until he sees Nilin getting a bit of too big an army, and suddenly he'd just make a ton of lings. But Nilin does have those 3 command centers.
Such a huge investment from Nilin in these missile turrets. 13 missile turrets in total right now. So this is actually quite crippling for his economy. I think he could have managed with at least half of that if they were just in perfect positions, and then he would have had such a bigger army. Anyway, Nilin is still in a good position here. When it comes to the army supply, it's actually 32 against 14. So I think he has to start push across the map, because right now Winter is just building drones.
Yeah, and I mean, he's really building drones. Look at this, 48 drones versus 25 SCVs. He's just massing them up right now. And I mean, as you said, Nilin, he does have a great force, but the problem right now is he's overestimating his opponent, and this is one of the most common mistakes we see nowadays. Overestimate the opponent. He's just turtling up his base. He's afraid of Winter going for an all-in, but really, I mean, he should just push and go for the kill.
Absolutely. His army is so big right now, and Marines versus mutants and Zerglings in these low numbers, it's just going to be a slaughter fest for these Marines, along with 1 siege tank and 1 Hellion for support right here. Nilin is finally pushing out with his first medevac right here. These mutants spots what's going on, and Winter has to build Zerglings right here, but no Baneling Nest. The Baneling Nest is not even halfway done.
Oh my god, this is so greedy by Winter, and Nilin goes for it. He's realizing something's not right, and he's going on to the creep. And nice scan actually will catch a lot of the creep here. Those mutants can't do anything, to be honest. The Banelings, as you said, is not done. He's making a lot of Zerglings, but without the Banelings, they're basically worthless. That 1 tank is going to be so key as well. Winter setting up for sniping it.
Oh! He's going to get the tank. It's 5 mutants right here. He's going to get the tank completely for free. Meanwhile, Nilin is pushing into the natural of Winter. This is such a close game. The 8 Banelings are morphing somewhere. I think they are in the 3rd base of Winter, but here comes the Zerglings. These pure Zerglings against Stim Marines in such a great position. I mean, Nilin is just taking this fight without any trouble.
Yeah, great engagement here by Nilin. To be honest, he's really positioning himself to make sure he doesn't die to those Banelings. And here we go, he's sniping more and more of those workers once again. He needs to kill off something. The Spire is for the taking. Here comes Winter though. He needs to hold this. He doesn't have any speed, but it might just be enough. He's stimmed so much. And here comes Winter.
Nilin, you need to split your Marines. Oh, it's going to be enough anyway. This 1 Baneling is... Oh, Nilin loads up 8 Marines and is going for the natural right now. Such big damage being done from both players. 71 workers now killed for Nilin. Such a great game, and the Mutas are going to be able to clean this up. But meanwhile, in the base of Nilin, there's another army.
Yeah, there's another army for Nilin. He's getting ready for the second push. But remember, Winter's still up in workers, and he held. That's the main thing. He held. He can make more of those mutas. He didn't lose his Spire. He's remaking his Banelets already, but he doesn't have too many Banelets. He needs to be careful now. I think he's going for the counterattack to bait back Nilin, to just buy time for those Banelings. Nilin this time with not as big of a force, might just be stopped earlier this time.
Imagine that last fight with the siege tank from Nilin. The siege tank got sniped immediately. If we would have it and focus down Banelings, perhaps it would have been huge. Anyway, Nilin is going on to the high ground here. It's going to be sieging up in a great position here, I think. But the Zerglings are going around for Winter. Wow, sniping a lot of these reinforcements. Nilin, you cannot give away 3 units in such a low economy situation. But he's going to go for the third base.
Yeah, he's going to go for the third base, and he needs this snipe. He needs it so badly. He was so far ahead early on, but now Winter going into the gold base. He's going to kill so many of these workers, and this is a huge impact on the eco line of Nilin, of course. And Winter just so much guerrilla tactics right now, but Nilin at the same time into the third base of Winter, killing so much, and he might just snipe the base, and this is a great snipe as well. Both players just trading so much back and forth.
Well, we're leaving his siege tank completely alone here. It has still been able to pick up 16 kills, and Nilin just stemmed his entire army in his natural over to his gold base, and is now able to properly establish it. And now he doesn't care that he has 25 workers because there's mules in the gold base. But wow, another engagement there that I somewhat missed, and it looks like Nilin might be able to hold right here. Only 3 mutas for Winter, 2 mutas right now.
Yeah, he needs that medivac sniper. Those Marines are dropping. The Muta's getting low. Only a few hit points left.
15 kills on that Muta, though.
Whoa. Wow. That is a great Muta. And here we go, though. Winter once again trying to kill those Marines off. But some great micro here by Nilin. Since the Mutas are so few in numbers, he needs more of these Mutas. A few more coming out here. I think he's adding up to about 8 Mutas. And he's getting, of course, his third back on. But Nilin just relentlessly pushing on forward.
Yeah, here comes round number 3. 2 siege tanks and a bunch of Marines here. And while Nilin is actually sniping the morphing Banelings of Winter. Winter's not gone for the Baneling speed yet, but is cleaning up this army with his mutas. Lost 1 muta though, quite carelessly, but anyway, Nilin is pushing in right here. Did not clean the creep earlier though.
Yeah, he needs to clean this creep up. I mean, with Banes, this is going to be so hard to hold on to. He doesn't have Baning speed yet, though. He really should have Baning speed, in my opinion. But here we go. Winter needs to hold this on. Banelings left and right. That's still quite a few Marines killing off the mutas, but more Banelings coming in. Those tanks helping out so much. But I think this might just be enough mutas to kill off the rest of the tank and the medivac. And now Winter suddenly can be aggressive again.
Great engagement for Winter. But during that, Nilin landed 6 mules on the gold base. He was actually doubling Winter in income for quite a while there. So Nilin is not dead yet at all. He's just producing so much with this great economy from the gold base and has been going to siege tank. I have to question this decision. I think he needs to change this factory up to a reactor and start to go for some widow mines.
Yeah, remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is in the competitive league, and it's right now 1-0 for Winter. So if Winter wins this one, he's going to get out of this best of 3.
Oh my god! 4 or 5 mules lost there for Winter, completely in for nothing there. And meanwhile, Nilin is actually floating his command center from his main base out to take a fourth because he's mined out his main. This is such a crazy game, action going on all over the place.
Yes, so much action going on, but Nilin, of course, having the stronger force right now. He's just relentless with these pushes, and without the base speed, Winter can't trade cost effectively. Nice spreading here by Nilin, but oh my god, he's not splitting the previous one. Oh my god, he's losing every single of those Marines.
Wow, and just a couple of seconds surviving for Winter, manages to draw the friendly fire from the siege tanks onto his Marines, which means that Nilin is not going to be able to take this engagement, but here comes more reinforcing Marines. He's gunning down the Zerglings first, now he's going to go for the mutas, but Winter is pushing Nilin back once more. This game, I don't believe it.
Oh my god, so back and forth. Winter's still up in workers, but remember though, Nilin does have those units. And what is upgrades, by the way?
The upgrades are 1-1 for the Terran and 0-0
Oh
for
dear.
Winter. Actually, the only upgrade in Winter's arsenal is the metabolic boost. It's not any upgrades for the mutas, not any upgrades for the ground units, not even Baneling speed, so not even Overlord speed. So I mean,
that's an uphill battle.
Yeah, that just goes to show how much pressure Nilin has been able to put onto Winter, and he's now establishing a 4th base and dropping mules here. But Winter is going to be able to see this out, and he's going to be able to shut this down unless Nilin can react in time.
Yeah, these meters are so precious right now for Winter.
Meanwhile, at the gold.
Yeah.
Winter just with a multi-pronged aggression running in with Cyclist to the gold base at the same time, so just going on so much at the same time here. Winter, and now going with the Mutas to the fourth as well, forcing the lead to split up his army. Winter's just really utilizing his mobility in this current unit composition and has now actually killed 40... No, he has been killing... They've actually killed equal amount of workers, 78 for each, so this is just such a close game, 78 workers killed for both of them.
That is quite sick indeed. And Winter, I mean, he's kind of the guy who has 300 APM and just spams all over the place. You know, he gets the units in every single middle line. He just tries to go for these flanks, and here we go. He's getting ready for one big push, though. He's going for the fourth base, and he's losing a lot of mutas, to be honest, to this one turret. But there we go. The turret will be sniped. A lot of base with his army. He's going to take the engagement. It doesn't look like it. He just wants to keep on these guerrilla tactics. Watch out for the Marines, though, losing quite a few of those mutas. He has to be careful.
Yeah, Nalin has quite a scary army and has got his starport onto a reactor finally. That was naked for a long time, but now is producing double medivacs, but at the gold base, Winter is killing even more SCVs, and Nalin, you have to build some sort of wall in, you have to build some sort of bunker, some sort of defense, Burnby Burrow or Widowmine. You have to do something about this gold base, because Winter is now pulling you apart, and the Mutas at the fourth base at the same time. Now they are going to be shut down by these Marines.
Yeah, look at this. Nalin has lost so many workers, and I mean, still these kind of tactics. Oh, we got 90 workers killed by Winter. That is just impressive, to be honest. And he's just putting on the aggression so hard at this moment. And right now, he's just all over the map, to be honest. A very, very nice play, I must say, from our Zeweig player. But Nalin, of course, he still has that so strong army, and it's very, very scary with those
Wow, he's going to go for the base trade. I mean, he knows Winter is going to go for his bases, so he just says, screwed. I'm going to go with my Marines and my siege tank as well. So this is going to be a full-out base race right now between Nalin and Winter. Let's see who wants to pull back. No burrow yet for Winter, which we have seen on this map be quite good in base trades in this matchup. Speaking of Skolpas Bomb, of course, but here's Nalin splitting up his Marines with the siege tank down at the natural of Winter. This siege tank is just being so scary for Winter right now.
Yeah, some really solid pre-splitting, but here we go. Winter's going in for it. The Mutas from behind. Here comes the Banelings. It's going to cross through the army. A lot of the Marines are going down. There's still quite a few Marines, but I think Winter might have just held. Nalin is dropping his supply, and Winter is holding on. 3 bases versus 3 bases still, but he survives.
Wow, that was a great engagement for Winter once more, but Nalin is not dead. He has 3 bases mining of 1 which is gold, so he's just mining so many minerals and is able to thus to produce 7 Marines at the time, so he is not dead at all yet. Has 1-1 on, or actually 2-1 on these Marines versus no upgrades at all for Winter.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, Nalin, he did get that +2, so right now he's +2 versus +1 versus 0-0, and that upgrade lead is a huge difference. It's very hard to battle against it. It really just shows how Winter somehow has survived. But of course, we keep talking about how Winter survives, but is he going to win, though? That's a question. I mean, Nalin, he's looking so strong still in this game, even though he's downing workers. He has the upgrade lead. He's getting +2 right now. He has a great army, and he's landing his 4th base versus 3 base Zerg, who doesn't even have the gold base. I mean, this is not looking great for Winter.
I think if Winter managed to get a big enough muta ball, he is going to win. I mean, if he gets up to like 15, 20 mutas, he's going to be a great position. But here it looks like he maybe wants to go in, has no banelings with his army, so it's just links and mutas versus Marines. It looks like Nalin has a great flank there coming in with the Marines from the 3rd base.
Here
but here are banelings.
Yeah,
wow, great split from Nalin. Are we watching Marine King player? What? That was just unbelievable, and Nalin holds on once more.
Yeah, great splits here from Nalin, and Winter has to run back once again, and so much pressure on this one game. I think right now he will just have to drone up. He will just have to survive somehow. And remember, the less aggressive Winter gets, the more aggressive Nalin will get. It's so back and forth, and now Nalin has to defend his 4th base, taking some heavy damage from these mutas, trying to snipe the command center. Not gonna happen though, and Nalin chases him away once again.
Yeah, and I think he actually could have gone down 4 mules there if he would have had the perfect focus, but only got 1. So shows to play quite carefully with the mutas. Now Nalin loading up 2 medivacs with Marines going for the drop, but Winter is actually predicting that and goes in with the mutas and Zerglings at the same time. So Nalin with a very small armor right here at the 4th base is going to be forced to lift. But we do, as I said, have the double drop incoming to main of Winter soon.
Yeah, but he did get that orbital. That is a great snipe, and he has to watch out for that double drop. Here we go. We do see them on the screen right now. They're turning back.
Wow. Wow.
He's changing his mind. He can't do this. Nilin, you can't do this. You had to go for the counter-aggression.
Well, you have to play decisive at least to counter. Oh, the Marines gonna get him down. No, he manages to unload his Marines, but this just goes to show how important every unit is during this game. And we can just see Winter is also establishing a fourth base, which he didn't even pick up, and is now saturating it with 22 drones. So if Winter can just hold on for a small while longer, I think it's going to have this game in the bag. If there is the scan from Nilin, though, this might be his last push.
Yeah, but Nilin, I mean, he's mined out in his goal. He's mined out in his natural. He needs to do this. He's pushing on forward. Here we go. Is this going to be the last push? We don't have too many banelings, but the mutes are doing so much damage. The links are doing so much damage. And there we go.
GG, well played coming out from Nilin, and that was indeed well played, Winter. Showing how good he is, losing 35 workers to the first blue flame push, being down to 5 drones, I think,
that was
and
insanity.
still able to take it back.
Yeah, he started from scratch again, and somehow those guerrilla tactics just worked for him. Amazing play by both the players, but in the end, seems like Winter take it 2-0.
Absolutely, Winter managed to take that down in an amazing game, and of course, this was the University Star League, the Season 3 group stages, and the competitive league in Winter was, who I think is somewhat of a favorite in this season, was able to take that game down.
Yeah, I mean, he did win the previous one, so we can tell already why he was the previous champion. He was battling people like J-Ray-Z and Madlisk. Of course, we might just see them in the next CouchCast. So hopefully we'll be looking forward to that. And I mean, we have a lot of great players. I mean, really looking forward to see who gets to the finals.
Absolutely. And speaking of next CouchCast, it's going to be in 2 weeks, and that it's actually going to be featuring a completely different game. It's going to be Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft, which we have, as you heard in the intro film, if you were watching it, we have been building, or I haven't, but someone else here at the University Star League have been building a sick overlay for it, so it's going to be a blast, and hopefully I will be here to cast it as well, or at least to watch the game, so it's going to be awesome to watch some Hearthstone next week. So anyway, I guess it's time to sign off this CouchCast.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could just thank our sponsors. Right now we have Komplett.com, and we have HyperX.
And QPad.
And QPad, yes. Had to remember those. And yeah, thanks a lot to everyone who's been watching. It's been a great pleasure. And yeah, if you have anything, leave it in the comments.
Absolutely. I will be reading the chat and everything. And if you have anything, any feedback to any of us, just tweet at us. If you have any feedback for the University Star League, write to us at Twitter or Facebook. And just make sure to check us out everywhere if you liked what you saw. So yeah, anyway, my name is Henning, MrBadExample Eklund.
And my name is Alexander Zeweig. And we're signing off.
Yeah, see you next time.
Sick. Nice, Jon.